Baby hands and ruby lips, special magic from her fingertips. She could heal a nation with just a touch, make your soul cry without as much. We walk the wellsprings on desert sand, walk on the oceans as tableland. She majestic, this you comprehend. The lady of love, dream of every man. I'm talking about love. Talking about love. Talking about love. Talking about love. I'm talking about Eloise. Talking about love. I'm talking about love. I will walk a million miles over glass my feet bare. Stare directly at the sun until blinded by the glare. Climb Everest the mountain, swim the deepest sea. If this woman I see would give her love to me, through bloodshot eyes did she call to me. But for her love I would no longer be known. If you will love me, you can really say. But for a moment with her, give her 1,000 days. Talking about love. Talking about love. That's what I'm talking about. Talking about love. change the world with the good thing he's found. See, he's going around telling everybody about the love she's putting down. Yes, he did. When I knew I lost my dream, yeah. There's the shadow from across my way. Talking about love. I'm talking about love. Makes music have my happy head take the sound. When you got a mind love.
Should be him and Tito be riding around in a Cadillac and Slow down, Tito. Slow down, Tito. Damn. Is that my hoe that's sitting on the curb? Let me out. Come in, girl. I said, come in, girl. For my money, how much you got? I'm like, I'm sorry, all I got is $100 bill. Girl, you've been out here all day and all you got is $100 bill?
I came home from the road. This is not long ago. I've been gone for, if you can picture, I was gone for weeks and weeks. And when I came back, nobody was home. Now, one person in my family thought that maybe I'd like to see them when I got back. Like, they knew when I was coming back, but they just weren't home. And that was a wake-up call. You know, like when my kids were little, and the tour bus would pull up to the house, these motherfuckers would spill out. Dad is home, hooray! And they'd hug me and kiss me, and then as the years went on, they'd get less interested. Hey everybody, look, it's Mr. Promises back from the road. But an empty house, that's some cold shit. And I went into my oldest son's room. I was like, hello, hello. He was gone. And I'd never done this to him before, but for some reason I just did it. I just looked through his shit. Just to see who this motherfucker was becoming. And I found these notebooks and I started going through the notebooks and it was all this wonderful poetry in them.
Open the door, close the door, I am so confused.
Written in his handwriting. I didn't even know this wrote poems. And then I looked through his drawers and I opened up his drawer and I found this rolling paper. And I looked down at them papers like, oh, that's where that poetry's coming from. And that shit broke my heart. I mean, I smoked weed, but I mourned my son's innocence. And I cried a little bit. And I took his papers upstairs to my room. Rolled some weed that I'd hid from the family. And I got really high. And then I got paranoid, so I put his papers back how I found them. So he wouldn't know what I was up to. Won't even know that that happened until he sees the special. Yeah, I found your papers.
Popcorn world. Popcorn world. Yeah. Can I make you move now? Yes, I can. So you can get this move in a bag of can. I can make it round the world when it holds in your hand. Popcorn world. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. I said popcorn make you smile. Ah. 250 flavors. Popcorn world. Popcorn world. Popcorn world. It's a popcorn world. It's a popcorn world. What's that saying? Breaking down the rumor and swelling out. Speaking for the people who must go around. Taking truth to power. The whisper and the shout. We're talking noise. Oh yeah. Talking noise. Hey yeah. Say it again. Say we're talking noise. Yeah. Talking noise. Really don't have to fool around. Never noise keeps us under. When truth divine. The sign that you is a sign of success. We're talking noise. Oh yeah. Talking noise. Yeah. Picking up all the same. We're talking noise. Yeah, yeah. Talking noise. Say it again. We're talking noise. Welcome to Talkin NOIZ, the daily podcast that brings you up to speed and keeps you informed about real issues affecting real people. With your host, Mr. Talkin NOIZ himself, Lloyd Spence. His beautiful wife, Mrs. NOIZ, Kenyatta Spence. The ever-informed Brother NOIZ, Alan Brown. And yours cordially, Uncle NOIZ, Shake Anderson. Come on in and join us as we reveal and opine today's most pressing issues. Real truth while having real fun. Talkin NOIZ is in your house right now. So sit back and enjoy Talkin NOIZ.
Yo. First of all, is my sound working better tonight? That's the question. How do I sound, Mama Noise?
It's a tad bit muffled.
That's what happened last night.
Okay.
Noise family, it's okay. Because we're going to get some new equipment. And it's going to be better. How's it sound now?
Go ahead.
I said, how's it sound now?
It sounds a lot clearer.
Okay. Hopefully that will stay with us till the end of time. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Talkin NOIZ podcast. I'm your host, one of your hosts, Mr. Noise. This is Mama Noise. This is the incomparable Al B, who is in full derby mode. What are you doing it for? You are incomparable.
Oh.
Al, nothing compares to you.
What's up, fam?
You look good, Derby Week. You look good, man.
He's clean.
Clean, brother. Let me ask you a question. Is the week better the cleaner you look? See what I did there without revealing what you're doing? I mean, is it better? Like, does it get better? You know what I'm saying?
It doesn't. It will later in the week. My activities don't start till Thursday.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. All right. Do you have a horse favorite yet?
I've never could care less about any kind of equine
situation.
Right.
I actually, for the first time in my life, betted on the Derby last year.
Wow.
And I used betonline.ag. I didn't win that.
Oh, look at that. See how you did?
I didn't win anything, but I did use it. I was curious just to see what it would feel like just to do it. So I didn't know what I was doing. So that's the problem. That's one reason why I don't bet at all. Because I don't like losing money on stuff I can't control.
That part.
If I can control it, then I might put a bet down on it. But I can't control what's going to happen with the horses. I don't know.
Yeah. I've never had a drawing to the horses. Love Derby, but it's more the public events. And the people watching. I've never been one for the desire to go to the barn stable, Derby Eve Gala or the Durrell Griffin Gala. Those things have never attracted me. I'm more into the steamboat race. Man! Remember back in the day when they used to have run for the Rose.
Yeah.
So those are the things that interest me about Derby.
I like my favorite part of the Derby was the parade,
which has been moved to Sundays.
Which is a little weird for me because now you're transiting on the Lord's Day. I don't know how I feel about that.
Right. I think it was 3:00, which is reasonable.
Compromise.
I like it. A lot of people don't. I kind of like it. Really, because most services are out at 1:00, 1:30 on Sunday, and it doesn't intrude or impede traffic. Me being in the transportation industry, it's difficult trying to route vehicles. Fortunately, our compound's only got 42, but trying to route 10 to 12 of those to dodge barricades and closed off streets around downtown Louisville and around Central Avenue, that becomes a difficult task. So I like the parade being on Monday instead of Thursday.
Sunday.
Sunday instead of Thursday.
I think that part for sure is better. And plus, it's probably easier for people, period, to just get down there. Because Thursday was a bit challenging. Like, it was, because they didn't cancel school. So you was rushing from school back in the day to get down there get a good spot, and people was leaving work early. It was kind of a mess.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why it took people that long to figure out. Sunday's really a better day.
I don't know. I was talking to my mom the other day, and she was like, "Oh yeah, we down here to go watch the parade." I was like, "On Sunday?"
Yeah, I think last year was the first year they tried it, and I don't know if they deemed it a success or not, but they did it again this year. And then I think around 6:30 ish, they had the little Derby Gospel Fest.
Oh, so that's what they try to. Okay,
Gospel. Yeah. Okay.
I forget the young man's name that produced. You know him, Lloyd.
Probably Jason.
I was going to say
Claiborne.
Jason Claiborne.
Yeah, Jason has become the go-to gospel. That happens when you get a couple of songs on an album. So,
and a Grammy nomination and all that stuff.
So he's become the go-to gospel guy in Louisville.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is. I've known Jason since he was a teenager.
I've known him much longer than that. My first job was with his grandmother. Miss Wilma Claiborne. She used to be the assistant director of Whitney Young Scholars Program.
Yes, I do remember Whitney Young. For those of you who are not from Louisville, we are revealing all the Louisvillian secrets to you right now. You're getting all the tea, the Louisville tea right now. So there you go. Well, listen, this is Derby week. It's going to be a lot of fun if you live in the area. If you got nothing to do this week and you don't live in the state, go down there. You'll have a good time. I promise you. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I mean, this is the big one. This is 150. So they're expecting the largest crowd ever so far. So this is the big one.
Well, how did did you go to the parade?
I did not. I just wasn't feeling it.
I'm not sure I'd be going to the parade my big old age right now.
I mean, I would. I know our daughter would love to go see the parade.
The weather has been perfect all week. We've had overcast and a few minor showers, but none of them have been during the festivities. So it's been beautiful all week.
Wow.
More of the same tomorrow. It's supposed to be in the low 80s. Plenty of sunshine. Tomorrow is the boat race. So
tomorrow's the boat.
Just out of pure curiosity, Al, what actually plays Thursday? Now that the parade's not there, what's on Thursday? Or is there anything on Thursday?
I don't know. I'll wait and see, or I'll look it up when we, get a second or two.
Okay.
But so much has changed. Thursday used to be Thurby, or originally Friday was local derby.
Right.
That's Oaks. That was local derby.
Yep.
And then it became Thurby. Now it's 5-0 Tuesday. So today is local derby, and it's
okay. Well, not only is it that, but shout out to the ladies of Zeta Phi Beta on Western Kentucky's campus, because it is their Founders Day, and I have with me literally the first person who crossed on that day, Mama NOIZ.
crossed on Founders Day.
Well, it's I am their
Technically you're the rechartering founder.
Okay, I was gonna say yes. Reactivating the charter line.
But that's a big deal because it was 32 years ago.
Right. There were no Zetas active on Western Kentucky's campus until our line in 1992.
There you go. So happy anniversary, Mama NOIZ.
Thank you.
That's why I have my stigma.
Oh, you want to represent? Okay.
I want to represent you to the fullest because I love you and I appreciate you.
What?
I said because I love you and I appreciate you.
Well, thank you, dear. Thank you so much. It is it is a wow moment to see that 32 years has gone by, but
I was going to ask you, does it feel like 32 years have passed by?
no, I used to always hear the older folks say, "Enjoy." Hey, Fred. Terry.
That's my sayings.
Okay, you're saying.
You just keep talking. That's my sayings.
Oh, okay. Well, go ahead. And I feel like 32 years has gone by so quickly that I'm like I can't believe that it's been 32 years. But I am glad to see that so many of my line sisters and sorors and frat are involved in so much community service and serving the community and serving the people, no matter where they live, because so many of them are kind of spread out throughout the U.S. Not everybody remained in the area, and where they all are, they're all somewhere serving somebody in some capacity. So that's
I gotta be honest with you. First of all, you don't look a day over 31. Let's start with that. So that's awesome. I'm actually 31 years in myself. Technically, I am also a part of the chartering of our line, because technically and officially, Phi Beta Sigma didn't even start on Morehead's campus officially until we got there, until we crossed. We were the final two members of that started the charter line of Phi Beta Sigma, technically.
Oh, wow.
But I don't brag about it, because technically I wasn't first, so I was like 12th or 13th or 14th or whatever it was. So I just don't worry about it. I just, but technically we weren't a part of the chartering of Phi Beta Sigma on Morehead State University. So there you go.
I think it, for me as the one on my line, we pledged according to the Midwestern region, so it goes according to height. I was the shortest on my line, so I am the captain on my line. I feel like that, there should always be one that tries to keep everybody together or keep everybody informed or try to keep everybody abreast of, what's going on with everybody. Because sometimes you can get lost in the sauce and everybody kind of spread all out. And you just like, man, I ain't seen so-and-so or even talked to them, or I don't even know where they are or what's going on with them. And it's been 32 years.
That's cool. That's very, very cool. All right, well, let's listen. I'm proud of both of you. You and Al are just doing big things out here in these streets. It makes me happy just to see it.
Yeah, I was gonna ask Al, did he at least see Thunder over Louisville? I mean, I didn't hear nobody.
That was last Saturday. We was on.
I'm saying no. I didn't really hear people really talking about Thunder over Louisville.
I didn't go down. Now everything you can watch on television. And now these firework events have all gone leaning more toward drone images. So there was a lot of that. So it wasn't the traditional fireworks that we're used to, that we grew up on. I've heard murmurings that the music wasn't as good as, or the soundtrack wasn't as good as it normally is. And then unfortunately, Louisville got the downside of the wind effect this year. Normally it blows towards southern Indiana.
Oh yeah.
So I'm glad I wasn't down there for that, because it was a bit smoky.
My mom said it was cold in the mud.
It was in its 40s. Yeah, it got cool.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So it looks like Thursday is a day at the track. That 30 that I was telling you about. Huh?
They bumped the Oaks to Thursday?
No, Oaks is Friday, but Thurby is like a full day of racing, and they got a whole card of racing.
Is it still no school on Friday?
Yes, we're still out of school on Fridays. Okay. On Friday. They don't have enough staff to open the doors on that day.
Listen, listen. We used to look forward to school was gonna be out there Friday.
When
True.
it bothered me a bit that they wanted to take the day off.
At all. We just meant that we was gonna get into something.
I didn't really do too much because Friday was like the setup day, so we would cruise the streets
Exactly.
and go to Screaming Eagles, and then go to the movies. Like we go to the movies and stuff like that, but that's about it. Yeah. And then we go to the movies on Friday because we knew we were gonna be cruising the streets all day Saturday and Sunday.
Everybody was set up in some way, form, or fashion already starting by Thursday.
Right. Exactly. So, all right. So listen. This it looked like Cuz. Okay, yeah, that's Cuz. I was gonna say I didn't know if he was in a hostage situation or what. I didn't know what was going on.
Oh my gosh, stop it.
Because he was on the screen, so I didn't know what was going on.
You said a hostage situation. I mean, really?
First of all, let's give Cuz a shout out because his bald head is shining beautifully. I mean, he crispy tonight. I'm trying to tell you.
Shine bright like a diamond.
Shout out to you, Cuz. And it looks like whatever little mustache he had is gone. Now he just kind of got a little beard thing going.
Cuz got a beard?
Like a little goatee kind of beard. Now he goes, okay.
Close the screen.
Well, you ain't gonna be petty like that. That's not even necessary. I'm
gonna go to the bathroom real quick.
complimenting when he being petty. Oh, Cuz, come on, man. Just saying. I'm just saying.
Harry? You grew up, it was a week. Listen, Derby, you're right. Derby was a lot longer than just those couple of days.
All right, but I got this. Let me bring you to the comment.
Mr. NOIZ.
Because I love you. And I was trying to do a conversation back to Cuz.
Mm-hmm.
Where did he go? Is he trying to get his look right or something? I don't know. There you go. There you go. What's up, Crispy? You look good, man.
Oh my gosh.
Oh boy. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound good.
Well, I'll be damned. Look at I'll be.
What's up, my brother?
Hey, sir, how you doing? How you doing?
I'm blessed and highly favored.
Oh, I like that Christian mantra. I like that.
Ducky, quack, quack.
Did you both, just to reveal some behind the scenes, did you both enjoy that little song I sent you the other day? Was that a nice blast from the past?
Well, they took that song to another level.
So let me explain what that was because you may not have understood. This guy created this traveling thing called Choir Rehearsal with Friends. And he and his band literally go around the country and they pull up at a restaurant or a church or whoever's willing to host them. And they just have like an impromptu choir rehearsal. And so everybody comes in and most of the people know the songs and it just turns into this beautiful throwback kind of event. I said, man, I wouldn't mind going to there. That might be kind of cool.
Oh, they did that, Doc. They did that.
And they sounded good. Now he's a little, as Fred Sanford would say, I feel like he might be a little, but that's okay. I'm gonna rock with him anyway. What, Mama? No, I'm just saying, Fred Sanford used to.
And I may not know all the songs.
You probably don't.
No, it's not. No.
I didn't need you to answer that quickly.
No, I'm just saying, Mama. No, I'm just saying. Some of those songs might be a little child. They go way back. Like when I said Al. When I said Al and Jay was Call Him Up, that's a throwback. That's all 30 years ago.
1984, 85, 86.
Throwback.
Yeah,
84.
Yeah, that's how that song used to rock though. If you had the right church, that song used to rock. Like it used to really go hard.
You had to have
I
the.
did used to sing with a choir when I was in high school.
Who you sing with, Mama Noise?
It was called the Good News Gospel Choir in high school. You laugh. Why you laughing, cousin?
Do you remember any of the songs y'all used to sing?
Huh?
Do you remember any of the songs that y'all used to sing?
Yes, I do.
What year was this?
Y'all used to sing.
There was a song called Wonderful. Because then I kept practicing over and over again because I was in the soprano section and I was trying to make sure that I would get it because somebody in our section had to lead us in with that high note, and they was going and it was like singing Wonderful, and they go and then I had to sing and then everybody so he is wonderful.
Mama knows we need a couple of words to the song. We just not going.
Mama Noise. Are you talking about he is wonderful?
That's the one.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Revelation 19, Mama Noise. That's
right. Thank you.
No, I'm just saying.
I didn't ask you what scripture it was. I said
the bag. No, that's the name of the song too. That's
the name of the song is Revelation.
Revelation 19.
Well,
all praises be to the King of Kings. Right, yeah. My baby called the song Wonderful.
I was so excited.
So
that's right.
Yeah, that's soprano note. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Wonderful.
Yep, that's the one.
You so cute.
I'm really shocked you thought the name of the song was Wonderful.
You know what? See, that's the problem with church folk.
You're right.
I always want to drag the one that don't know the song.
You're right, Mama. No, you are right when you said what you said.
You're right. They so damn holy, they know earthly good. Yeah, you're right.
And that is the fact. They're supposed to be the salt of the earth and got no salt.
You're right.
That thing, Mama. You preach that.
You're right.
We better move on before we mess up our witness.
That's right.
All right. Well, listen, we got a good one for y'all tonight. A really good one, actually. We've been away. And by the way, this is our only show this week. So y'all better enjoy this. Because ain't no other shows this week. We taking another week off. Ain't no Believe, ain't no Uncork. That's it. You got yesterday's show with the 5 and the day. That's it. All right. So with that being said, we're going to have some fun tonight. Because we didn't get a chance to give y'all our opinion on the Amanda Seales versus Shay Shay situation. So we have had time to look at some of the clips, and I actually looked at the entire 3-hour video.
God bless you.
You're welcome. For those who couldn't sit through it, you're welcome.
You are right.
Because I just wanted to make sure that whatever we say tonight is in context to how we truly feel about the situation. Mm-hmm. So, to summarize, for those who have not seen the interview, Amanda Seales, who is known to be a very polarizing young lady, actress, comedian, radio personality now, but those are the 3 things she's most known for. And I guess you could say, to some degree, activist. Way as you see fit. But she got on Club Shay Shay. Well, let's go back. Earlier last month, I think it was, during the Oscars situation, she didn't get invited to some things. Was it the Oscars or what was it? It was something she didn't get invited to, and she felt like she should have got invited. I think it might have been something BET related. And she felt the way about it, and she expressed it. And so in expressing it, she caught a whole hell of a lot of backlash. She kind of went on this little tour to kind of damage control it a little bit because it was kind of costing her some money or whatever. And landed on Club Shay Shay. So Shannon Sharper do a 3-hour interview in a heartbeat. So he let her on and let her kind of rant around and say some things that she wanted to say. And in just 20 minutes, there was a conversation about racism that she felt the way about. That Shannon was, I guess to put it lightly, I guess she said Shannon disrespected her in that conversation. She felt like he didn't validate her feelings about whatever was going on. Let's see, I might be able to play a little bit of it. Not a lot, but just a little. See if I can find it real quick. Y'all talk amongst yourselves while I find it.
I tried to.
Oh, here we go. That didn't take long.
Clearly.
I didn't even get to talk.
Huh?
I didn't even get to talk.
Oh, I'm sorry, but here's just a little sample clip of what it was.
Because he was talking about Aboriginal art. And he said that he stood in front of the class and said, the Aborigines are a Stone Age people. And I was like, ma'am, there are Aboriginals alive right now. Like, they are a part of civilization, like what he was talking about. And she's like, well, no, what I mean is that they've never advanced. And we're in a classroom in Orlando, Florida. So, like, if we don't check this type of stuff, it's going to just continue. So I was that student. Like, I was the kid who was always raising my hand and just wasn't easily appeased by simply just someone being an authority. Right. And I love this because when she called my mom and said, I'd like to set a conference up because I have some complaints about Amanda. My mom said, well, that's interesting. I have complaints about you. And so they came to the meeting, and it was my mom and Mr. Wright and Miss Cersei, all Black people at Dr. Phillips High School in Orlando, Florida. And this lady sat there, and actually you and Mr. Wright had the same build. And Mr. Wright was like, all right, so, we're here to discuss Amanda disrupting the class with her talking. And she was like, no, Amanda doesn't disrupt the class with her talking. She actually helps the other students out. He's like, oh, okay. So is it about her grades? And she's like, actually, no. One of her art pieces is featured in our exhibit at the library. And he's like, so what are we here for? And she's like, well, you're the class. And these three Black people are like, here we go with this racist bullshit, because that's really what it is. We're in Florida in the 80s and the 90s. And
but let me ask you this.
Okay.
Do you think she would have felt equally as offended if a white kid, because I'm assuming this teacher was white, right? Mm-hmm. If a white child would have corrected her, I think most teachers would feel some type of way if a child corrects them.
That's not for me to surmise. I'm just saying that my experience was this lady giving wrong information.
Yeah.
And I'm allowed to correct her. Now, this is the same lady who tried to accuse me of stealing. And when a white girl said, no, Amanda didn't steal it, I did. She was like, well, I think both of you need to go to the principal.
Right.
I'm in Orlando, Florida, which is a notoriously racist state, Florida, in the 90s. And I'm talking to you about a white woman who is speaking about Black people, indigenous people in a country where those same indigenous people have had all of their land taken from them by former criminals that were sent there from England. And she is calling them Stone Age people. And I, as a Black girl, the only Black girl in her class, am correcting her.
But my thing is, you're right. She possibly misspoke or she didn't know.
I guess my question to you is, why do you even feel compelled at this juncture in this interview? Why would you even feel compelled to try to
because I'm not defending, but my thing is that what I'm trying to say, most adults, when kids correct them or speak, feel some type of way. This is not unique to a Black, white, or white, Black. Okay. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm sorry that you took it that way. But I remember when I was growing up, my grandparents and parents said, hey, kids, stay in your place. Adults are speaking. That's all. Maybe that didn't happen where you were from in Orlando, Florida. But where I grew up, when I grew up, kids did not correct adults.
That, and another statement immediately after that, became the cringe moment of the interview and lit the internet up. The internet was like, yo, Shannon Sharp is emotionally unintelligent. He was not prepared for this interview. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. And then there were other people were saying, man, Amanda really is like arrogant and she's this and she don't understand. And so there was this big back and forth between opposing thoughts as it relates to the interview. I would like to know you guys' thoughts as it relates to what you just saw. And then there were some other clips because Amanda really is kind of a polarizing person. Like she's, as you can tell, she's very opinionated and she thinks that she's right most of the time. And whether or not she is, that remains to be seen. But she believes she is. She believes she's right most of the time. And so I'm curious to know what you guys think about that initial conversation. And I guess we can just go from there. Any of you can start.
I'll go and I'll get out of the way real quick. I listened to some of the interview. I actually read an article. I believe it was The Root or whatever. So I read their take on some of the feedback from X, Twitter or whatever you want to call it. And it seemed like a lot of people that jumped on Shannon Sharp were already advocates for Amanda.
Right.
They were already in her corner.
Right.
So they were anticipating him to advocate or co-sign. And I'll throw this out there, and this is just my opinion. Unfortunately, I think Shannon Sharp has become the modern day Maury Povich.
Mm-hmm.
Black community. You got podcasts instead of the shows that used to come on television. And so this format and Shannon Sharp's position, I think, is just the modern day Maury Povich. I think he did what he did as an antagonist on purpose. It was intentional. I don't think it was his lack of knowledge, his lack of empathy. I think he did that to strike up conversation. He didn't have to be an antagonist for Cat Williams because he was, he did that on his own. And so with Amanda, he had to play the adversary, devil's advocate, so to speak. And right. I think that's the part he played in this whole interview.
Okay, all right.
Which is why almost every issue that she brought up, he was the opposing argument. He was the rebuttal, so to speak.
Well, I'll say this: the interview got decisively more comfortable, in my opinion. After
uncomfortable or comfortable?
More comfortable. After that first 25 to 30 minutes, they started kind of settling in, and I think he could kind of tell he kind of roused her up, and they got on the other side of that, and then they were able to have some interesting conversation. I'll say it that way.
And I'll admit that I have not watched the first 25 minutes in total. So if you would tell me the section of the interview where she pretty much flexed her credentials. Was that in the first 25 minutes?
No, that took a little while longer. Because that's when he got into her schooling. And the one thing that was consistent in the interview is that, and you can take this however you want to take it, she seemed to point to a lot of places in her life where she felt racism, not being protected, and a just recently diagnosed autism played a part in all of her life's troubles. So she had one of those three excuses to go as to why people don't like her, as to why people why she stayed in constant contention with folk, why she was not being protected by people she thought she should be protected by, like Issa Rae and other shows that she was on. It was an interesting take on her life. And I'm gonna be honest with you, after hearing the whole interview, I walked away feeling like, okay, so everybody's the problem. Like you haven't caused any of this yourself. Because if you got this many people saying, Amanda, you're this, you're that, you're that, and the other, is all of it a lie, or is maybe some of it true? Like maybe, or there's not true, but maybe there's some merit to the belief that maybe there's a way that you're presenting it that is not necessarily conducive to understanding it by others. So I don't know, but you, Mama Noise, cuz you saw some of this as well. What are your thoughts?
Well, Mama knows you want me to go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's mighty kind of you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Oh Lord.
Listen, I like the young lady. You know, I find it hard to like anybody that looks like. I find it hard to dislike anybody that looks like that.
Oh my goodness.
So I like the young lady.
Her looks aside, cuz what were your thoughts about what's the whole experience?
I mean, she's pretty as hell. I mean, what you want me to say?
I'm gonna need you to be a little less distracted in this conversation.
Listen, I believe I like her because she's an intelligent person. She's an intellectual. She comes with credentials. She is not only a Black person, but she's majored in African American studies.
Yes.
She wanted to know more about that in which she was passionate about. So when she speaks on the issue, she's not only speaking from experience, but she's speaking from an intellectual standpoint because she studied it. So I respect that. But one of my problems with people that are well versed in any subject, they're not willing to listen to opposing opinions.
Yeah.
For Shannon to say what he said to her, and for her to have that reaction, I thought was telling.
Yes.
Of her interactions with probably most people.
Yes.
If you say that was your experience, and I come back and say, well, you know, I'm not discounting your experience, but most adults would probably have the same reaction. Not that the white lady wasn't racist. Two things could be true at the same time.
Right.
But it is facts that most adults would not take kindly to, and I don't know how old the young lady was at the time when she was raising her hand, all willy-nilly, wanting to correct the teacher.
I will confirm, but I'm pretty sure she said she was in the 3rd grade, which would probably put her around 10.
Young as hell.
Right.
No credentials to teach a class, but you want to raise your hand and correct the teacher. And obviously her mom okayed that behavior. Instead of talking to her daughter in a way to say, you know, there's a way to talk, or time to talk, or, you know, talk to your teacher, you know, after class and say, well, you know, Miss So-and-so, I believe this, and, you know, but disrupting the class because of what you believe if every kid did that, then the teacher wouldn't be able to teach.
Right.
So for her to have that reaction off of what he said, even though what he said was facts,
Yeah.
kids were not allowed back in those days to necessarily correct the teacher. You better get your butt somewhere and sit down and listen versus trying to speak up. So
Well, call my attention real quick, cuz we'll call my attention. I want you to finish. It was the language she used in describing it. She said, "It's my responsibility. I'm allowed." I think is what she said. I'm allowed to correct you, and that really struck me as a weird phrasing because I'm like, what does it mean? I don't understand that.
which makes you think, and I hate diagnosing someone or making this type of a statement on a podcast because we don't know, but which makes you think she's a narcissist.
Right. But that may or may not be true. We don't know. Yeah.
I don't know that, but what makes you believe that? I mean, for you to believe everything that you say is true, and for you not to take any opposing opinion well at all, which is why most people believe that work with her, she's a difficult person to work with because she doesn't take it well.
And that's the part. That's really the part of the conversation that I really wanted to lean in on. Well, not so much the back and forth between her and Shannon, because that is what it is, and people are going to form whatever opinion they're going to form about that. But it does highlight something that's greater that a lot of us don't really know ourselves as well as we think we do. We know who we think we are, but we don't necessarily know who we are. And what I mean by that is some of who we are is formed out of the way we both treat and receive others. If you understand what I'm saying. Like, your life can't just be how you give it to others. It also has to be also how you receive others. And I think we don't, a lot of us don't have the capacity to receive properly because we think it's about us. We think it reminds me of the old, what is it? It wasn't Blondie. What was the song? You're so vain, you probably think this song is about you. Mm-hmm. We have a vanity about us that makes it almost impossible for us to be able to receive any type of criticism or contextuality about our own lives from other people. So if somebody says something to you that is hopefully is of a constructive nature, you're not able to receive it because you think it's an attack on you as a person or on your character or whatever it is, which is kind of a dangerous thing to be. Like you said, that definitely carries a level of narcissism with it. But I'm sorry, go ahead with what you were saying.
I can see in part why maybe she has experienced some of that growing up in Orlando, Florida. I mean, she was obviously,
As the only child too.
As the only child. I mean, she was obviously an attractive kid. And according to her, she was a straight A student.
Right.
Obviously, she has personality. So I can see maybe being over the top to where she was oftentimes disliked by some of the other. You understand what I'm saying? Black students. I'm sure she had issues with some of the black students, and maybe she was too light to be black and too dark to be white. I mean, maybe she has some of those issues. So being the only child, I'm sure maybe she caught hell as a kid growing up.
Yeah.
So maybe she formed this toughness in dealing with people that some of us don't have to deal with.
And it's unfortunate. I get the sense that if she's one of those people that if you disagree with her opinion, then you must be enemies.
Right. Well, that's what it felt like. I mean, I'm be honest with you. That's really what it felt like. Noise. Is that the feeling that you got when you watched it, or did you come away with a different opinion?
I try to. I don't want to say tolerate it, but it was hard. I was listening, going, "What is going on?" It seemed like she wanted to argue, and like I agreed with Jay. You know, like I'm not trying to diagnose anybody because I'm in no position to do anything like that. But she, like, in other words, so now I got all of the, you know, here's my justification for all the stuff I've ever done is this right here. And he's like, well, when did you find that out? Like, it was almost like last year.
You're talking about autism. When she said she had autism. You're talking about when she said she had autism.
No, I remember, but she was saying she didn't say autism. She said system. She was saying that she was on the spectrum.
Right.
So she wasn't really trying to, you know, and then she would start name dropping, like, you know, because everybody knows that Holly Robinson Peete is a strong advocate for autism because of her twins.
Autistic twins, yeah.
Really put a spotlight on autism in Hollywood because nobody was talking about none of that until her and her husband had their twins, and then all of a sudden, you know, they really, you know, began pushing the campaign and bringing it to our awareness.
I'll say this: I believed her when she said that she was recently diagnosed with autism, and I also believed her, or that she felt like she was on the spectrum. That, you know, however that, I don't know how that works, so I can't speak intelligently about it one way or the other. I'll just say I felt like that was an authentic and genuine statement that she was making to understand why she was characterized the way that she was. Now, having said that, I don't think that justifies some of the actions that she may have, some of the actions that has caused her to be looked upon in the way that she has in Hollywood. Just because you have a certain way of learning and it may be different than others doesn't give you the right to be an asshole. That's not, the two are not mutually exclusive. So I wouldn't say, that's the part that I kind of struggled with, because I didn't understand what that had to do with human kindness or talking to people with good common sense. You know what I mean?
The spectrum of autism, and I'm not qualified, but it's so broad that it is, you know, we really don't know where on that spectrum she falls.
Right.
You know, so to say you're on the spectrum, you know,
be very small.
Right.
Yeah.
So
she's obviously functional.
Highly functional. She went to Columbia. I mean, functional. Yeah. You know, she went to two of the most, you know, well-to-do schools in the country. So, right. Which is, again, one of the reasons why I wanted to bring this conversation here today, because it sometimes I don't think we know how we're presenting ourselves to the world. Because I think a lot of us got issues, a lot of us got problems, a lot of us got stuff that we done been through that spills out into our everyday conversation, or bends that triggers, if you will, that cause us to respond a certain way to certain things. But that, I don't know if that justifies humanness or the way we should treat people. That's the part that I struggle with the whole interview. Andrew Bruce says, does the average person understand the spectrum? I would say no.
I agree.
The average person has zero idea how the spectrum works.
Absolutely.
Well, we understand a more severe form of autism.
Right.
But once you start talking about the spectrum, how it moves away from that severe form, then it becomes a little bit more complicated.
She told a story in the interview about her relationship with the cast of Insecure and how she was going to a party. And this is actually a very well-known story. It was like an Oscar party or Emmy party or whatever it is, and they would not let her in. And it was Issa Rae's publicist that would not let her in. And eventually Issa Rae's publicist said, it's because I don't like you. And so instead of exploring that conversation, Amanda said, well, I hung up on her. And so Shannon said, well, why did you hang up on her? I said, because that's not my problem. That's her problem. She needs to take that up with her therapist. And so then she said, the girl called her back and said, why did you hang up? And she told her those exact words. You need to take that up with your therapist. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm struggling with that because first of all, you show up at this party and they said they didn't want you in it. So normally people they're not cruel like that by nature. So I'm wondering, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot left out of that story. That story was really complete.
I'm sure there's some holes in it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, right. Here's the thing. That level of party, Issa Rae, it's an invite only, right? Typically, what you say, does somebody of that caliber just have a party that anybody can show up?
I don't think so.
Well, according to, now again, we're getting her recount of the events. According to her, she was invited.
Okay, it was invite.
By phone. I don't know. Because she even mentioned who invited. Jesse, the one that talked about white folks real bad on BET. Jesse, he was on Grey's Anatomy, I think. Not Grey's Anatomy. Maybe it was Grey's Anatomy. I don't know. Anyway, he was a brother that talked about white people real bad on Grey's Anatomy during the pandemic. So anyway, he invited her by phone apparently, but I think it was Issa. I don't know if it was an Emmy party or Issa's Emmy party or what it was. I don't remember. But okay, thank you. It was Grey's Anatomy. Okay, so I don't. To your point, Al, just to clarify, I think it was
Williams.
Jesse Williams. Thank you. Yeah, he apparently invited her or didn't. I don't know. According to her, he did. And they told her right at the door she couldn't come in. So I don't know whose party it was, if it was Jesse's party or if it was Issa Rae. I've heard that it was Issa Rae's party. But I've also heard that it was the entire cast of Insecure, which she was a part of, was also in that party. So I don't know why.
It wasn't her party. Look, I guess I'm saying I agree with Al. I think she invited who she wanted to invite to the party, and somebody whose party if it ain't your party, how you gonna invite somebody else to somebody else's party?
Well, but I would say this: wouldn't it be strange if the entire cast of Insecure was at the party, and she, who is a very integral part of that show, was not? Like, in that, and y'all got to work together. That's a weird. I don't know. That's a weird thing, and it did not end well with them. Like I don't think they are friends to this day. I think that relationship is a rapsy-scapsy, and it just they according to her, they had a very tenuous relationship.
Well, what I think is it sounds like some holes are in this story. It sounds like there's some stuff that's missing.
Well, that's how I felt about all of her stories. Like, because it was always race. She got kicked out of the first college she was, or almost got kicked out because of racism, she said. She got the called to the parent teacher conference because of racism. She got the Disney show. They were racist. that she was on. It was always
Somebody else.
or somebody not protecting her. She almost got kicked off the Floetry tour because of race, because they didn't like her because of whatever. I mean, it seems like there's some holes, and all of these people don't like her.
That's what I was thinking. Everybody don't like you.
I'm struggling with that. Everybody don't like. Which, listen, some people don't. Sometimes everybody don't like you. That might be your testimony.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say that there's no way that somebody could just not like you. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you're saying the whole interview is because somebody don't like you. It's because of racism. That it's because of your race. It's because of I just don't. They say I talk too hard. They say okay.
Okay, so stay there, cause I may be asking the wrong person, but I'm gonna ask him anyway, because this could go either way with you. I don't know, but if somebody said to you, cause the way you're responding to people is a little rough, what would your response be?
Well, yeah, you asked the wrong person because I'm 55 years old, so I don't give a damn.
See, I felt like that's where this was going.
Right, you asked the wrong person.
Like in a corporate setting.
But for her, in her line of business, in her setting, in her profession, she is the issue. And at some point, she's going to have to recognize I am the issue. And it is that know-it-all mentality that she has. Most people don't want to be around a know-it-all. It's not her looks, because most people in Hollywood are attractive,
right?
Except for one or two. I mean, you got. Well, I'm not gonna name them. I'm not gonna name them. I'm not gonna name them.
Please, yeah, we get it.
But I mean, you have very attractive people there, so it's not your looks. They're not hating on you because of your beauty. They're not hating on you because of your intelligence. You have very smart people in Hollywood. So it is the way that you rub people with your inability to value other people's opinions. That's the problem.
Can I give an example right here?
Absolutely.
And I'm reading an excerpt from her response to Gilbert Arenas.
M-Dub!
And Gilbert Arenas made the comment, you may be talking about it later, that the reason she can't get a good man is because she's overeducated or highly educated and blah, blah, this and blah, blah, that.
Yeah.
So in her response to Gilbert Arenas, she later on in that interview, and this is an excerpt from Yahoo Entertainment, when Shannon Sharp asked her, have you been clinically diagnosed? This is in reference to her autism.
Right.
Her response, yes, there is a clinical diagnosis for autism. And he then hung his head and exhaled in frustration because I did not answer his question. She then goes on to say that is called deflection. He deflected because I was not going to be pressured by him, who was interrogating me with absolutely zero love for me, into proving something to him that by his line of questioning, he had already committed to undermining.
Which is not what happened at all.
Exactly. So he simply asked her, had she been diagnosed with autism? Her response was, autism is a, where's that?
Systematic.
There is a clinical diagnosis for autism.
There is a clinical diagnosis, which is not answering the question. Right. That's a great example of what you're saying. I wonder where it comes from, because she's not the only person we've ever seen do this. So I'm curious to know, and I'm asking you guys, where does that come from? Is it insecurity? Is it because she mentioned she doesn't catch on the social cues well, which could be true,
Honestly, Lloyd, these are symptoms, mild nonetheless, but I see symptoms like this displayed in a lot of single children, like one-child homes.
One-child homes, yeah.
They seek attention, and I think this is partially. She has to have some sort of attention. You have to look at me one way or another, and so she just goes off the deep end. And I see characteristics similar in her that we see in Candace Owens.
That is very interesting. That is very interesting that you said that, because they brought up Candace in the interview, and y'all listen. They covered a wide spectrum in these 3 hours.
You did say it was over 3 hours or so.
It was 3 hours. They covered a wide spectrum, and they brought her up, and of course she's not a fan. And it was interesting because she said the comment that they made about her was that Candace is going through some stuff right now, y'all, because I think the white folk might be tired of her now. And I think she got fired recently. Didn't she? Didn't she get fired recently from whatever she was doing? I don't even know what she does for a living, but whatever it is she was doing, being the mouthpiece for black people, for white America, they fired her from that. So, and then she's been going on black media, I guess, trying to, I don't know, but Shannon said, isn't that kind of what happens when white people done with you? Yeah. And Shannon said, isn't that kind of what happens when white people are done with you? Then you come running back to us asking your version of forgiveness and trying to get back in our good graces. And Amanda said that was because, how did she say it? Because we taught forgiveness through the Bible because of slave owners.
Oh, I remember a clip from that. And she asked Shannon Sharp, who taught us that forgiveness?
Right.
Okay, I remember seeing
the slave. She said the slave owners taught it to us because they wanted us to forgive them every time they beat us. And I get, again, listen, I get that the level of intelligence that she has and the level of academia she has achieved. I get it. The challenge of that is you got to know how to present that in a way that's palatable for people who don't have what you have.
So you can't talk down to people.
Which it feels like she's doing a lot.
Yeah.
Do you think that might be part of the what she say? The people say you think you know everything. Is that a part of it?
Yeah.
It is, and it's a tricky balance because people don't mind you sharing information with them, but they want you to bring them along for the ride. They don't want to be.
And she comes across as wearing that banner proudly. I know everything. I want you to know that I know everything.
She
pretty much, like I said earlier, she flexed her muscles to Shannon Sharp. I am this.
All
I
the
am
time.
that. I did
time.
this. I did that. I was from here. I did this. Da da da.
Yep.
Can a person like that be reached in a way to where they soften their approach in life? Because is that possible?
Yeah. Absolutely, it's possible.
Because I'm going to tell you something. I really want you to expand on that. I found myself through the 3 hours going through ebbs and flows with her. There were moments where I was saying, that was really good. That was really that was really great. And then it sounded like, oh, that was cringeworthy. Like, why would you say that? Why would you approach it that way? How would you, if you were friends with her, how would you, because I think part of that is who she's around. And they're not telling her, they're not big. Because she said her mom just let her get away with a lot of stuff and never tried to change her. And I was like, ugh, that's not good.
That's not good.
Right. And then her dad wasn't around at all, really. So that wasn't good. So there was really no checks and balance to the behavior, it sounded like.
Well, she said if she grew up with her father, she'd have never became who she was today. So
More specifically to that quote, she said she sucked at relationships, and it was definitely because of her father not having a father in her life.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he might have been a part of that balance that she needed to have, and he wasn't there to.
Because we all need balance, and she admitted that she grew up without balance.
How would you approach it? Because I'm curious. And Al and Mama Noise, how would you guys approach it?
If I was in a relationship or friends with her,
Let's say friendship to be fair. Now, relationship's a little different.
well, that's what I was saying. Friendship.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't saying it in the bed with him, Mr. Noise. I wasn't saying
I
that.
didn't take it that way. I didn't take it that way.
It wasn't implied either.
Yeah.
It was not implied.
Right.
No.
Why you say it like that, Mama Noise? Say cuz can't get a woman like Amanda Seals?
No. How old do you think she is?
I know how old she is. She's 42.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, she looked damn good for 42. Damn good.
Stay focused.
Hey! I'm voicing my opinion.
You're a lot house right now. You're in the cul-de-sac. Come on out.
Listen, the old folks used to say back in the day, she won't change until she falls flat on her face. Until the old Christian folks used to say until the Lord knocks her down. Until she's at the end of her rope and she has nobody else to call upon. Until that happens, then she's going to realize, all that knowledge I thought I had, that did me no good. All the intelligence, how intellectual I am, that did me no good. I needed people that didn't have the intelligence I had, that didn't have all that I thought was so valuable. They were simply there to hold my hand and to lift me up. She has to value something more than what she has. And up until now, she hasn't done that.
And I don't think she allows anybody to stay around long enough to call her on her beat bull. You know what I'm saying? If you disagree with me, you are my enemy. Even with Issa Rae, maybe the rift was not between her and Issa, it was between her and Vanessa, or whatever the case may be. And Vanessa said, "Well, I don't like you."
Right.
And she went to Issa, and Issa was like, "Well, y'all need to work this out."
Right, which is exactly
what did that turn into? Now she's on podcast saying that Issa Rae should have protected her, should have defended her.
Right.
So no, this is between you and Vanessa if that's the case. And then you're a mean girl on set. Well, how can I be a mean girl? It's Issa's show. I work for you. Deflection.
Yeah.
You have to own your bullshit, and she's not allowing somebody to be in her corner long enough to call her on her bullshit.
Oh man.
Because nobody has ever done that to her as a kid. Her mom stopped it. She said it herself. When the teacher said, "I have an issue with your daughter," the mom told the teacher, "Well, my daughter has an issue with you."
Yeah.
What?
That was ate up from the flow up. Right.
How many 3-year-olds? How many 3-year-olds do you know thought it was okay to call a teacher out? Or third graders, not 3-year-olds, third graders.
Yeah. None.
No, we wouldn't have dared.
I'm in a 10th grader call a teacher out. I've noticed. Honestly, I will say this. No, I take that back. We did have this one little white kid that tried it. He tried it, and then once we checked his ass, that was the end of that.
But I feel like that. My mother was always like, "Don't let them teachers call me. Them teachers better not call me and tell me that you did X, Y, or Z." But now, then on the other hand, I keep thinking about that stand-up with Kevin Hart that couldn't wait to go back to school and tell his teacher what his mama said. because you feel like you can say what my mom. If you got the green light from mama, you can say whatever it is.
Great point, Kiera. That's a great point.
So if her mama said, you
Her
tell
mom-
that teacher,
Mama stamping it. Yeah.
and giving her co-signing, that she
Yeah.
comes in there like she
Great
run
point.
the classroom. Because my mama said, I don't have to listen. One time when I was in elementary school, my teachers, that was back when all of them names started coming in. My name, Kenyatta, it was one of those names. It was, you know, the entryway to all the stuff that we're dealing with now. But my teacher struggled saying my name. So she asked me, do you have a nickname? And I was like, no, ma'am. She said, is your father's name Ken? I said, no, ma'am. So I came home and I told my mother when she asked me how my day was. She said, you tell that teacher your name is a compound word, Ken and Yetta, and put it together. And that is Kenyetta. And I said, you want me to go to school? I felt like Kevin Hart. That's why I could really relate to what he said.
Mama told me.
You want me to go to school and tell her what you said? Yeah, go tell her exactly what I said. Now, you know, your mama said, my mama said it very animated. And I came to school, I said, my mama said, my name is Kenyetta. And it's a compound word, Ken and Yetta. And put it together, it's Kenyetta. So that you won't struggle trying to say my name no more. Because I don't have a nickname. It's Kenyetta. And she was looking all like bewildered because she couldn't believe that I had said anything. But listen, had I not got the green light from my mama.
That's a great, listen, that is a great point.
It is. And let me ask you a question, Kenyetta. Did you feel empowered for that moment, or did you feel empowered for perpetuity? Like now you can tell these teachers off whenever you want.
Now listen, I knew it wasn't perpetuity. I knew it was just for that moment.
Right, you knew the boundaries. Right.
She let me
See,
know.
I don't get that sense with Amanda.
Exactly.
I think she thought she had
total.
Right.
Oh, you know what? I just heard it, Al, as soon as you said it. Because if your mama gave you the green light that one time and never said this is not in perpetuity, then you probably, like she said, it's my responsibility to correct you.
Exactly.
I got it. That's good.
All bets is off. I know more than all of y'all.
Well, but now here's the other part that goes back to what Cuz said. Sounds like she never had a good ass whooping by her peers. And I'm telling you, that kind of is what I think is kind of happening the last 5 or 6 years in her life. Like, society and the industry is kind of whooping her ass. And that's why she's not getting the opportunities that she used to get. Because at some point, people get tired of that. They just get, and let me tell you something. Here's the reality. You can be an asshole and people never tell you about it. They'll just start dealing with you.
Yeah.
They'll just be like, okay.
They're like, I'll fix that.
They'll be like, what about Amanda Seals? Her name will come up. What about Amanda Seals? No, she's too much of a malcontent.
I ain't got time to deal with
I ain't got time for that. I don't have time to be dealing with all of that and all that comes along with it. And that's the sad part about a person so gifted and so talented is that because you unfortunately get in your own way, which is kind of what happens. You know, you get in your own way. But now the other part of this conversation I wanted to get into as well are the people that were defending or like Al said earlier, coming for Shay Shay, coming for Shannon. And I felt it was an interesting thing with the way the comments were flowing on the internet and on Twitter or X or whatever the hell it's called now. Because there were so many people throwing out these phrases like Shannon doesn't have the emotional intelligence for a conversation like this. Here it is again, another black woman not being defended by a black man and stuff like that. And how did y'all feel about, or were you aware that those comments were being, and there were a lot of those comments. Were you aware of that, and what are your thoughts about that after seeing it for yourself?
I was not aware of those comments, and I think that's sad that an interviewer can't interview without being attacked like that. I think what Shannon Sharp is, and I heard what Al said earlier about him being the new Maury. I think what Shannon is doing is good because it's dialogue, and we need more dialogue. Nobody's throwing blows, but there's more conversation being had. Some of the conversation may rub people the wrong way. Some of the conversation, we may not like it. But we need to have some real conversations. And to sit down and to talk with that young lady for 3 hours, folks, that's a real deep conversation.
Absolutely.
You can't talk to anybody for 3 hours without covering some serious topics. So I respect that. Most people go to an interview, and if you have it for 30 minutes to an hour, that's it. Let's pack it up, let's go. But the guy is obviously trying to get somewhere with conversations, and I respect that.
I think the hard part about what he's doing or attempting to do is that when a person reveals themselves the way that Amanda did, the way Cat Williams did, it invokes immediate emotion and reaction, and it can't be measured in the moment. In other words, I can't stop whatever the reaction is going to be. Whatever it's going to be, it's going to be. So now we're scared of this kind of honesty,
real conversations,
authenticity in real conversations, and we don't know how to handle it because a lot of our society has also turned into bitch ass niggas. So because of that, we can't say certain things without everybody being triggered or offended or whatever by what
you're gonna be canceled.
Right, or wanting to cancel somebody because it triggered me individually. And listen, there's a vulnerability in Club Shay Shay that is wildly uncomfortable if you're not prepared for it.
Absolutely.
And so I agree with you in that regard. I understand why you feel like you feel out about the Maury part. I do, because I think
I do, yeah.
It gets a little wild in there. You know, that Cat Williams thing was wild. Cat, as a matter of fact, Cat's being blamed for all these beefs that are coming up now. So, you know, by the way, shout out to Kenny. Shout out to Kenny for what he did today. That was crazy.
His podcast, period. When I hear people say something of someone's has broke the internet, I'm like, okay, all right, you know, so it went viral. This is the first time in podcast history to have had people flock to Club Shay Shay in such an abundant I think how many million is it views at this time?
Like Amanda's?
No. I'm talking
Cat
about
Williams?
when Cat Williams.
Oh, I was gonna say Amanda's has got 2.4.
Huh?
Say it again.
I was just saying Amanda's has gotten to 2.4. I didn't know you were talking about Amanda. You talking about Cat Williams?
No, I'm talking about when Cat Williams. They were saying that out of all, and you think of all the many podcasts there are, no one has had the numbers that Club Shay Shay had when Cat Williams was on it.
I was gonna give you that today. Go ahead.
You thinking sports podcasts? You thinking, you know, just news podcasting? You know, you just like, this dude just got here. A Club Shay Shay hasn't been around. What? Has it been around 5 years? Has it been around?
No, maybe a year, maybe two. Yeah.
And I will never look to Shannon Sharp for social awareness coverage.
No. As of today, it's at 67 million.
I mean, listen.
It's at 67 million. So and
but I don't think we should judge it by that. I mean that's not important because I mean most people are watching it because they like to see a train wreck. I mean it's a bunch of that Cat Williams interview was a bunch of mess to me personally. But it's still conversation. And if you are, it's not Shannon's job once you get on there on a real podcast to have conversations. It's not Shannon's job to save your ass. Once you start opening your mouth and you continue to open your mouth, he continue to have a conversation with you.
So let's hold on a second, because that's a great point and a great talking point that we need to cover. How much responsibility do we as podcast hosts have to the context of what is being said and having our audience understand or try to understand what this person is trying to say? Does Shannon have that response? Because listen, he didn't know Cat was going to go off like that.
No, he didn't.
So nobody did, but he did, and we are where we are with that. So how do you stop? Should you stop that as a podcast host? Should he have stopped him, or
was he gonna stop that for everybody? Because he almost all his guests come on there and have some controversial stuff to say.
I don't think Cat Williams was by circumstance.
You don't think it's by circumstance?
Nope.
So tell me, what do you think it is?
I think somebody in somebody's corner, hey, he got something to say. Well, bring him on, Club Shay.
Bring him on. Let's have it.
It's all calculated to me because, okay, then who came next?
Monique was the next biggest one.
And Monique then who came next? What's his name? What's the little comedian?
Country Wayne's was pretty big. Yes, it's at 7.
And so
Godfrey's got a decent response.
Yeah.
I think
things that he said that was like, that was wild. Go ahead, because you probably going where I was going to go. Go ahead.
No, I don't know. But listen, if you bring on the average, extremely successful person, black person, you probably go, if you're having an open conversation, a real conversation, none of this made for television Oprah Winfrey interviews, where we ask you about your kids and your career, just simple stuff, but real conversation. Then you're probably gonna come across some real shit.
Right.
With a whole lot of people. They might not be as open or as controversial as Cat, but Cat's always been that way.
Right.
But if you bring a Monique on, if you bring I think the conversations need to be had. That's just my opinion. I don't see anything wrong with communication.
I don't think you can. I don't know how you bring on a Monique and not expect it to go completely sideways. Like it's just that's where she is. That's where she resides. Same thing with Kat. So from that perspective, Al, I completely agree with you. There is a measure of, oh my God, buckle up, that you got to have when you bring on certain people anyway. And that's not to say that's good or bad. It is what it is.
But what about DL? DL is controversial, but he's a very intelligent brother.
He is, and I think it's true. Here's what I think is true. Anytime you decide to open your platform to a place where authenticity is welcome,
there you go.
You're probably about to get some.
About to get something, yeah.
You know, we've had those conversations here. I often think about some of the stuff we've said, and like, okay,
Yeah.
How did we get away with that one? You know, but it's okay because I feel like that part of it, if done from the right platform or with the right intentions, I think it's okay. Now the question is, and I think this is probably where Al resides now. I'd love you to comment on this. Is Shay Shay doing it from the right intentions? Which is what I think a lot of people in Black America are starting to question. Which is where I think you get the Maury comments and stuff like that. I've heard of people say he's the new Wendy Williams and stuff like that. Because is his intentions right?
I question his intentions.
Yeah. And that's fair.
And I say this. I don't think he anticipated how well that Cat Williams interview would do. And I think once it did, you know, just like, you know, that first high, you chase that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, he wants those numbers again.
Oh man.
Million, and YouTube pays like it pays on for the stuff like that. I'm sure that check was nice. Really.
No question.
So yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. You now are chasing viral moments. And so every time you get one, you're saying thank you, Jesus. But and right now, by the way, the vote, they just did a vote on this the other day. It's the #1 podcast in America.
Bam.
So whatever he's doing is working.
Because you never know.
Joe Rogan would be dethroned.
Right.
You know, I don't know if I think it's a dangerous game to question someone's intention.
Absolutely.
We don't know what his intentions are.
No.
Shannon hadn't really presented himself to be a manipulative asshole trying to get paid. I don't see that. I see a guy that's trying to have a conversation with Black celebrities. I mean, and that conversation goes wherever those celebrities take it.
Well, I'm not sure about the asshole part, but
I mean, what makes him an asshole?
No, I said I'm not sure about that part. I don't think that part is true. Oh, I don't know if that part's true. I ain't gonna say I don't think. I don't know if that part is true.
We don't know, right? So why do Black people start speculating and wanting to potentially believe negative about someone when we don't know?
I don't know about the negative part other than Black people just be hating. Here's the part I know.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
$6-7 million views on YouTube is a big YouTube check.
I mean, listen.
And nobody wants to go backwards from that check. They want a check like that or a similar check. Because you get a lot of money for millions of views, period. But if you can get them back up to those numbers, the 30, 40, 50 million, 60 million range.
Come on.
I mean, come on.
Listen. I don't think he's chasing another Cat Williams moment because I don't think it's possible. I don't think I don't think he stays awake at night trying to create another Cat Williams moment because I don't think that's possible.
I don't think it's possible either, but I don't think he's rejecting opportunity.
You don't think it's possible, but you don't question how Club Shay Shay and Monique ended up in the same conversation?
I mean, that part.
What do you mean, Al?
Her story was dead and buried. It wasn't an active thread moment.
Discussion, right.
And for her to end up as a guest on Club Shay Shay,
it's like, who else controversial can I interview?
I'll just say this. After Cat Williams, this is his interview list.
Okay.
Country Wayne, polarizing, 21 Savage, Usher, right after the Super Bowl moments.
Okay.
Freak, Johnny Manziel, Terry Crews.
Johnny Manziel.
Right. Terry Crews, Offset, Glorilla, Cam Newton, Amanda. That feels like a list of people.
I'm looking for the next.
These are people that trend. These are people, coming off whatever things they're doing in life and whatever. They trending on Twitter or X or. I'm just saying. I'm not saying he's chasing the 67 million, but I'm not also saying he's running away from it.
I think the only way that he could probably recreate it is to get Candace Owens to come on and be butt naked honest.
Would we watch?
Yes.
Yes, because she gonna say some stupid shit.
Yes. We all love a train wreck, Mama Mel. Just like
there we go.
We want to see it.
Well, I was gonna say like how Cam Newton ended up on there in the first place after he.
Him and Cam got into it.
Huh?
Him and Cam got into it. They got into a thing right around the Super Bowl, and it was very controversial. So guess who's getting up?
I thought you were talking about when he got into it with the Little League.
Mama Noise. I'm saying all of it. I'm saying all of that has happened. Cam got into it with the Little League. Then him and Shannon had a little back and forth tit for tat, and then they squashed it. They supposedly squashed it at the Super Bowl or whatever, or at the All-Star game or wherever they met. They met somewhere and had a conversation. And then next thing you know, he's interviewing him, and they're interviewing each other on each other's platform. And by the way, to Al's point, all of that shit might have been staged. They may have staged the whole tilt just to create likes, clicks, and views. And I don't know if he's that guy, but he might be that guy.
Mayhem.
Yeah, but the point is, that's my only thing about what he's doing. I wonder how helpful these conversations are to the masses. Or are they helpful at all?
I think conversations are good.
No matter what?
I think conversations are good.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Keeping things in the dark, I don't think that's good.
All right. Well, listen, my people. We have we're running up against the clock. Al, you didn't really say this earlier, but I gave a shout out to Kendrick Lamar, who responded to, first of all, I never even heard Drake's response. I don't know what Drake said in this so-called beef, but I heard Kendrick's response today. And I just would like to say, from me to Drake, don't respond. Just
rest in peace.
Yeah, just let it stop.
I haven't heard it.
Oh my gosh. Listen.
Oh, man.
It says to me, if his song "Sit Down, Be Humble" was a word, that right there, it tells
me. I'm gonna have to check it out.
Just to give you an idea, because it's so intense. Just to give you an idea of some of the lyrics, he said, "I hate the way you walk. I hate the way you talk. I hate the way you dress. I hate the way you sneak this. If I catch a flight, it's gonna be direct. We hate the bitches you fuck with because they confuse themselves with real women." And notice I said we, it's not just me. I'm what the culture feeling. I just feel like, I just feel like Drake. No, that was Kendrick. That was all Kendrick. It's 6 minutes of this. It's 6 minutes of stuff like that. And I just feel like Drake, this ain't, bro, just keep making fun songs and dance songs. Don't get into this game. That ain't your lane. Just go ahead, go on stage like J. Cole and just apologize and say, "You the king. I don't want the smoke. I'm just gonna stay over here and do what I do." Because if you keep going back and forth with this guy, it's gonna end bad. It's already bad, but it's gonna end real bad at this point. So, Lord have mercy. So, shout out to Kendrick for getting some things off his chest, I guess. Cuz, do you even know Kendrick Lamar's music? Do you even know who we're talking about? Okay.
Drake.
Because you get indoctrinated to the culture, brother.
What culture?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Yes, you do. You always claiming your blackness. This is as black as it gets.
My blackness is not tied to that shit.
Cause
it's not, Mr. Noise. Mr. Noise is not. You know it's not.
Wow.
My blackness. My mic is muted.
No, it's not.
We heard you. We heard you say your mic be muted. That's like unmuted. You heard.
No, I don't have a need to learn about that type of crap. You know, I don't believe in that.
You're so old, bro. You're so old.
You know what I care about, and that's all I'm gonna care about. So I mean,
you love Jesus. I know you love Jesus.
Love him with all my heart.
Oh,
Jesus and Peter
women.
Right.
Jesus and black women.
And black women. That's what he loves.
Black women and Peter sandwiches, yeah.
Yeah.
And crystal burgers.
I get it.
Y'all got me down packed. That's it.
Shout out to Mississippi. I saw an article yesterday. They got the highest populated African American demographic in these here United States. Shout out to Mississippi.
Mississippi is the blackest state in America?
That don't make sense.
33%. 33.4%.
I believe it. I believe it. I think it's in Mississippi.
Shout out to
Mississippi. And the rest of them was over here.
We all thought it was Georgia.
We thought it was. Why does that not make sense to you, Jay?
Mississippi has the highest percentage of black people as a state.
Yes.
33
something.
Like when you put all the peoples together, it's a percentage. They're talking about
right. Now they don't have the highest number. Like there's not 78 million black folk in Mississippi. 33% of the folk in Mississippi are black.
That does make sense.
They have the highest percentage, not the highest number.
Put Anthony Bruce comment up there again. Mama Noise. That's why. Them niggas ain't leaving. They ain't going nowhere.
What does it say? What does it say?
They won't let them leave. They're not going nowhere. Them Negroes are staying forever.
All I can hear is that childhood song. The M-I, crooked letter I.
Mama, cuz you got a lot of friends that's still in Mississippi. A lot. Them niggas ain't left. They've been there 20, 30, 40 years.
They gonna say, I'm born here, I die here.
That's not true, Mr. Noise. That's not true at all. The great cities of Chicago, the great city of Chicago, Detroit, the great city of Atlanta, the great city of Dallas, they have all been populated by people from Mississippi. That's a fact.
Yeah, but it wasn't that many though.
Oh, it's a lot of them. Oh, it's a lot of them. It's a lot of them. It's a lot of them. Atlanta, Georgia is full of.
We know that Atlanta, Georgia is Chocolate City.
Full of people from Jackson, Mississippi. From Mississippi. Huh?
Yeah, Jackson, Mississippi is Chocolate City as well, as Al just reported.
Oh, Jackson, Mississippi is Chocolate City.
Dark chocolate too, because you're closer to the equator.
Well, in the famous words of Anthony Bruce, somebody just needs to tell them about the emancipation.
That's all we're saying. You can leave. We need to drive through Mississippi with a bullhorn saying that the hands that pick the cotton can now pick the president.
Don't let them same people that didn't drive through Texas.
Y'all gonna make me act like that Amanda girl and tell y'all how ignorant you all are.
Why are we ignorant? I'm just trying to quote the facts that
and listen, and I don't mind if you're not my friend. I don't give a damn.
Oh gosh, here you go. See,
See, once again, can't take criticism.
Yeah, I can kill that.
Damn you, Amanda! Damn you!
Right. What up, C Major? All right, y'all, we're gonna get out of here, but we want to give an RIP to the Lakers.
Hey.
That shit's over, brother. That shit is over.
It's R.I.P. to the Lakers.
Well, at least they wasn't swept. So
They wasn't swept. That's something.
Well, who's
They
the
were
big
mocked.
dog?
Huh?
they were
If they
mocked,
was-
but they wasn't swept.
Who was it who mopped him?
Ooh, the Denver Nuggets, which is so hard to say out my mouth.
How's that hard to say? They do
Wow.
it every year.
Yeah, but I'm not used to it as a Laker fan. It's weird saying that the Denver Nuggets are like actually better than people.
No, listen. LA played Denver, and should have did much better in that series.
They really should have.
Three of those games. Well, they won one, but two of those
Easily.
games could have easily been theirs.
Easily.
Yeah. They should have won last night. Chad Major, don't do that. Don't do the Chad, in the words of the prophet Chris Brown, how you gonna hate from outside the club? You can't get in.
Oh, that's cool.
Your team didn't even get in, brother. Let's worry about your sweep. As the prophets, the Williams brothers said, sweep around your own front door before you try to sweep around mine. Come on now, sweep around your own front door.
Oh my gosh, that could have been the oldest thing you ever said.
They might.
Mama Noise, do you know who the Williams brothers are?
Why are you trying to come for me? I didn't say that. No, I don't know the Williams brothers.
I'm not surprised.
Well, why you say it then? You know what?
Mama Noise.
Mama Noise. Never mind.
Bartholomew, you trying to co-sign tonight?
No, ma'am. I was going to give you some farther.
I got to know the Williams
I was
brothers.
going to say, hey, Mama Noise, don't feel bad. Don't take this mess from Cuz Noise because Call Him Up came in 2010, not 1980, 80 something.
Negative.
Oh Lord,
Negative.
No, there's no way, Al.
Negative clock
And when
tower.
I look it up, if you confess the Lord, call him up. Says 2010.
No.
Not by Keith
Google it.
Pringle. Not by Keith Pringle.
Look, Google it.
That may have been his version after he got off drugs and came back. But his first version was in 19.
I don't know about the Mississippi version. All I know is
No. He's from LA. He's from
what
LA.
does it say, Lord, I can tell by your face. What does it say?
When you Google it, it says 2010, but I'm struggling with that.
No, you ain't got the struggle, Lord. Lord, you know that's a damn lie. You know that's a damn lie.
I
think they got that wrong.
Lord, you know that's a damn lie.
Listen, old dark man.
Lord.
Dark man, listen. I trust Cuz Noise, but I'm just saying, when you Google it, it says 2010.
Only reason I'm a call BS to the internet, not to you, Al, but to the internet, is because they got a video on YouTube of them doing it, and this don't look like no damn 2010. This definitely look like
they got butterfly collars and bell bottoms.
Lord. How you gonna have this conversation talking about you think? Well, you know you was in church in the 1980s and that song was being sung.
No, I agree with you. I'm just saying, and they're going to make some corrections.
That was pre-drugs.
Pre-drugs.
Look, he got a fade. They didn't have fades in the 80s.
That's the 80s, trust me.
He got a fade. Show me one of them women. If one of them women got blue eyeshadow, then it was the 80s.
Trust me, it was 80s. Trust me, that was 80s, and that's when he was gay, and that's when hold on. Did I say something wrong?
No, you didn't.
Yeah, that's got a lot to do with
the song. Need to go down.
No more, can I? You read that drop.
That's when James Cleveland was sitting in the audience. James Cleveland was not alive in 2010. James Cleveland was in the audience on that video.
So
I'm just saying what I'm saying, bro.
They did wrong.
They did. That was like 2010. not right at all.
I know gospel.
Oh my.
You know what he's doing? We're gonna have to have a gospel off
Oh my gosh.
and
I
see
know
if
gospel.
it's gospel.
So
Well, I ain't doing it.
would the original have been by Ron Keanly?
Negative. Keith Pringle.
Ron may have written it, but Keith sang it.
Keith Pringle.
I don't know if Keith wrote it though. That's the thing I don't know.
Well, I'm not coming to
1984, 1985. That time frame.
Who produced I Call Him Up? Can't Stop Praising. Ron Keanly. When did Ron Keanly release I Call Him Up? Can't Stop Praising Him? 1992. Who wrote I Call Him Up? Can't Stop Praising? Ron Keanly.
Negative Clock Tower. 1992 is incorrect.
Ricky Grundy.
Listen, Linda. Listen. 1992 is not correct.
Oh my gosh.
Now, y'all
I need some popcorn.
listen, Mr. Noise.
Yes.
Mr. Noise. You was raised in the church house. 1992 is not correct. How do I know 1992 is not correct? Because I was already in the Army in 1992. I went to see Keith Pringle in concert in 1987. And he was already singing Can't Stop Praising His Name in 1987. I'm telling you, it was 84, 85.
Oh my.
Now I know what I'm talking about.
That's Ron Canoli.
It's cannoli.
Yeah. I know Ron Canoli. I think he might have did like a remix or something.
Remix.
He said it was written originally by. Now the written by might be correct.
Oh my God.
Let me get on my internet. You mother hubbers don't know what y'all talking about.
We just trying to get clarity. We trying to get clarity in these streets. You done set him off, Al. You done set him off.
He said, "Y'all hubbers."
Cause now we all looking for it.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. I'm not looking.
Told you I'd give you some farm.
The other thing you can look up is the other songs that were on the album was True Victory. When it comes back for me. Yes, it was.
Nope, we're not.
I got it. I just got it.
Okay.
And both of you are wrong. The gospel song "Call Him Up" by Minister Keith Pringle and the Pentecostal Community Choir was originally released September 3rd, 1980. And on the album True Victory, you're right about that, cuz. Then, okay, so where we get into 2010 is that it was re-released on the 2010 album Nothing Too Hard for God. So that's where the 2010 is coming from.
That's right. That's right.
You're kind of right. Like it was technically on an album in 2010.
That was after his drugs.
And it was written by Ron Canoli.
You are so silly.
So it was 1980?
1980.
That's what it says here on
19. Been around a long time.
What site is this?
Lyrics. I was thinking 84.
Lyrics.com says 1980.
Well, but now let me say this, cuz I understand you said 94, 84, because here's the other thing. Music did not build as fast as that back then also. It didn't travel to popularity as fast. Like it wouldn't have, songs like that would come out. Like I remember Jesus Is Real came out in like 87, 88, something like that. And it didn't really get its popularity until like 90.
Yeah, but see, 80, we were still doing James Cleveland and the Hawkins.
Oh yeah,
the 80s.
Right. No question. That's what I'm saying though.
Keith Pringle was new school to me.
Oh, that was very new school.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking 84, 85. I didn't think that was 80.
But he was after Rock.
That song had drums.
Right.
We ain't got no drums in our church. Drums.
Right. He was jamming.
That was a tambourine and a piano.
Right.
Some hand claps.
And the piano wasn't all the way in tune.
Right. Exactly right. So, yeah. All right, we can do that gospel station. I promise you. Because we got to have a gospel off at some point. We're going to have it.
Mm-hmm.
Lord, I'm going to win that one.
I don't know about that now. Come on now.
You got to worry about nobody want to compete.
The fact that you know nothing about Ron Canoli writing that song in 19.
Oh my gosh, what is happening?
You need to understand.
I don't even know who the hell Ron Canoli is.
Well, you have no me. Because my gospel is ridiculous.
Was he gay too? Was Ron Canoli?
That wasn't necessary. That wasn't necessary.
Ron was actually a solid dude. Matter of fact, I believe Ron was from Louisville.
We're gonna have to do some research.
Most of our gospel artists were gay men.
What is happening?
Hey, don't let facts get in the way of a good story, okay?
I'm just saying.
That feels like you letting facts get in the way of a good story. Don't do that.
It's the truth.
Not necessary. Let's not refer to the 80s as such.
Reach out to Ron so we can discuss him writing that song in 1980. He's still alive and well.
Ron still kicking. He is
79 years old.
Yes, he's how old?
79.
He's not as active as he used to be. No, he ain't putting out stuff.
Name one of the top artists other than Marvin Winans, the Winans. Name one of the top artists that was not gay back in the day.
Oh my gosh.
Man.
Take your time.
I don't have that type of time. Like I got things.
What's his name? Moore.
Who?
Moore.
Dude with no teeth.
He was gay. He was gay.
Was he really?
Oh,
yeah,
what?
He qualified. Maybe Milton Brunson.
James Moore.
No.
James Moore.
Maybe Milton Bingham. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. He hung flaming people.
He wasn't really a singer though. He talked.
Was BB? Oh.
What does it say? I can't see it.
Brown, who was the minister of music in our church, and I can confirm he was far from gay.
No, I didn't say all the minister of music were. I say top artists. Back in the day.
Okay. Azaria has done the research and he is from Coffeeville, Kansas.
But I think he lived in Louisville though. I could be wrong, but I thought he lived in Louisville. One of them gospel.
What about Frank Williams?
Oh no. Yeah, no.
What is happening? We have spun off topics, spun off down the road.
Yeah, we have Mama Noise. It really have. Why you leave the screen? You didn't want to support us?
I didn't support you because y'all talking about something I don't know nothing about.
I
don't even know who these people are.
We telling you history though, Mama Noise. This stuff is true.
Thank you, cuz.
Well, there was a lot of flaming going on. Okay,
a lot.
Okay, you know what? To my knowledge, none of the original commission were gay. So there you go.
Oh,
I agree. I agree with that.
And none of Take Six were.
I agree with that.
Okay, so there you go. We found a group of men in that time frame that went stand and sing for Jesus.
I agree. You're right.
Cortez wasn't either. Like,
they were all hoes.
They were all hoes. It's totally different. It's different.
Yeah.
They were hoes. They were not gay men.
I'm done with y'all.
I am so done.
No, we are giving you history. It's unfortunate. It's an unfortunate. It's true.
I don't need to know this history.
You know what broke my heart? finding out that Carmen was gay.
Who?
Carmen.
Tulsa
TVN's Golden Boy.
White boy. Yeah.
Really?
Golden Boy.
I didn't know that.
I found that out, and I know that for sure because I had a friend of mine that was working at the radio. He interned at the record label in college where Carmen was at the label. He worked Carmen's. He worked Carmen's show or his, whatever. And matter of fact, it made him leave the church because he was a big Carmen fan. And when he got to meet him and know him, he was like, "Oh my God!" And that's when his eyes was open. He's like, "Wait a minute, all this is going on in Christian music?" And he's like, "Yeah." So
I didn't know Carmen was gay.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I don't doubt it though, but I didn't know it.
Well, you didn't know it, but you never saw his wife. You never saw him with anybody.
Right.
It's usually an indication that things ain't quite,
Right.
quite the way you need them to be. So, All right, we better get out of here before we ruin my child's.
Yeah.
She said, "Yeah."
Mama Noise, we apologize. This was not the intent of tonight's show. It's the out of gospel music, but knowledge is power, though. So let's remember that.
That's Skywalker.
He was not that I know of.
I agree with you. I agree with you. But that was later though. But that was later though. I said back in the day, but that was later.
He's kind of brought a little more masculine energy.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
It did.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. He's kind of brought a little bit, like John was solid.
Right.
To my knowledge, Kirk was solid.
Until we got that one guy that changed his name. What was his name?
Oh yeah, he reverted everything back.
What's his name? That can really sing.
Tony. Oh, that boy can sing.
That boy can sing.
Funny, and then we're gonna end on this. I used to love "Make Me Over." I thought that song was just brilliant.
That boy can sing.
When I realized what he was actually saying, I was like, "Oh, I got it now." I didn't get that the first time you sang that. I just thought you were talking about singing in general. I didn't realize you were being very specific in what you were singing. Yeah, Sanchez Jackson, you are correct. I did not realize that you were really talking about a very specific set of circumstances that you were going through. So, but the boy can sing.
But that is one of the singingest fellas I ever seen in my life. That fella next to what's our singing guy?
Daryl Coley.
Daryl Coley.
You can put Tony in that conversation.
Yes, you can. Derek Coley was a beast. Yes, sir.
Derek Coley was a beast. And also, had some questionable. So,
it wasn't questionable. He was gay.
We gotta go. Okay, we gonna leave. Mama Noise said we done messed up the whole church experience for everybody. We apologize. That was not tonight's intent. But conversation is good. If we have learned nothing else, conversation is good.
I agree with you, Mr. Norris.
All right, Mama Noise, we gonna get out of here because I don't want no trouble. All right, y'all. Love y'all. We'll see y'all next week. We done for the week. That's it for us. All right. So go do something and enjoy your life. Peace.
We're talking